What's going on, guys? Today we have the Model S refresh over here. This is actually my personal Model S, and I want to give you guys a full review of how everything has basically held up. This is the refresh after Tesla had updated the exterior as well as the interior of the car. And honestly, this is probably my most favorite Tesla Model S, or Tesla in general, that I've ever driven. I come from a Model 3, a Model Y, a Model X, and then currently I have rented a Cybertruck. However, the car that has been the most kind of bang for your buck for me has been the Model S long range. This is because of the way it looks. Step back right now. To me, it looks like a Tesla from the future. Basically, for me, it just looks like the Tesla's newest, like most advanced car, and I just enjoy the love. I enjoy the feel of how it looks, as well as the doors that always pop in and out whenever I go near it. Cool thing about this Tesla is you have the arachnid wheels. The arachnid wheels are probably my favorite looking rims Tesla's ever created. Because these are arachnid wheels, you got I think they're 21 inches or so, and then you got some red brake calipers over here, which is pretty cool. Let's step back over here. You still have like the old school charge port over here, which is kind of like, I think they've changed it over. The new one, it kind of flips over now, but this charge port over here, it basically kind of points outward, and then you are able to charge here. However, all the newer models, they have a new, it's similar to Model 3, S, and X. They all have the same charge port. I think it's just for the supply chain, it's a lot better. And then as you kind of look around the car, for me, it just looks like a Tesla Roadster. So the Roadster, as we all know, Elon and them promised to be out already, and then they also had promised to give a free Roadster to people who did several referrals, but I don't think that's going to happen anymore. However, this is the Model S, and I think it's the most aggressive looking car. For those of you guys who are familiar with the Model 3 Highland, the Model 3 Highland is interesting looking in a sense where you have it kind of looking more like the Model S, especially with the front lights. The front lights here are more aggressive in my personal opinion, but the Model 3, it is kind of like a lot smaller than the S. It's easier to drive and easier to park, but the Model S just aesthetically is more aesthetically pleasing from my personal opinion. Just take a look at the car. You can see around the edges, wrapping the car has made it really look more aesthetic looking, and then just adding the tint to it, red brake calipers, and then the carbon fiber spoiler in the back over there, it does look much more aggressive, and it does look like a Roadster. So this car, you'd be surprised, a lot of people, especially Tesla fans, they'll kind of like go up to you and say, wow, this car is a head turner, this car is really nice to look at, did you wrap it, is this the real color, is this the ultra red? And I always tell them, no, this is actually a wrap. The wrap is extremely thick, and it is much shinier than the ultra red, so that's kind of why I like the color. It's more vibrant and darker, so that's really nice. So take a look at this car. The thing too I've noticed though, driving this car, I have started taking it to the car wash, and the car wash, it kind of shows some oxidation within the car itself. So over here you have like oxidation. You can't really tell, but I can tell when I'm close to it. So that's one kind of gripe about driving the new Tesla. So with the black trim, is that oxidation does occur throughout the car, and you kind of see all this black trim, oxidation, and you kind of have to either go to the service center and they'll replace it for you. Sometimes they're nice and they will replace it, or sometimes they're not and they won't replace it. I just stopped caring because honestly, it's a car, you gotta drive it, you gotta wash it, and hand washing it took me so long, and just going to a normal car wash, much easier for me. So that's still a win for me, and I kind of enjoy that experience itself. So here is the interior of the car. A little review of the car. This interior car, it is basically has a long screen, which I do enjoy, and then the back super vibrant and open, which is nice. And then we have the steering wheel. This used to actually be a yoke, however I kind of changed it from a yoke to a normal steering wheel because the yoke was extremely hard to drive during full self-driving. Unfortunately, you have the haptic feedback for these buttons, and then you press the middle. It's not a horn, it's just an airbag. Your horn is right here, so you can hear that over there. And then You have a wireless charging port, as well as just kind of like a very simplistic look of the car. So I'm actually gonna go show you guys and talk to you guys about what the driving experience has been with this car. Overall driving experience has been extremely fun. I've driven a Model S, 3, X, and Y, and the Model S has the most range out of all those cars just because it has the biggest battery. If you have the 19-inch wheels, you get 405 miles of range, but with the Arachne wheels, you still get 380 miles of range, which is really good, especially if you drive a ton like me. And for me, driving a lot is kind of like, it sucks, but being in a Model S, not having to charge as much has been really game changer for me, because I can just drive to wherever I need to go, not fill up the battery as much, and then I'll be good for several days. So that's always been pretty fun for me, being able to charge the car and then just having to not do it. Like when I had the Model Y Performance, that battery was around 302 miles of range, and then it degraded all the way down to around 280 miles of range. So I noticed I was always charging the car, because of course you don't want to get to like 1%, 2%, right? So Tesla's really interesting too, where the battery is really like 70% of its actual expected range. So if you have like, say, I don't know, a battery of 100 miles, you really get 70 miles, right? Tesla's really interesting in the sense where you gotta basically adjust to Tesla's expectations, and they kind of over exaggerate their real expected range throughout the car, because I guess it's a good marketing ploy for the team. However, for me, driving the Model S has probably been my favorite car to drive, just because one, the aesthetics look really great, in a sense where people are always like complimenting you. I know you're not supposed to hear what people think, but I like the way it looks. So I'm always like, I think it's the most aesthetic looking my car that cars I've ever owned, and I'm just kind of happy to go inside it. Two is the battery range. The battery range is really good. It's basically like, 380, 400 miles. So you're able to go a lot farther, not have to charge as much. I'll drive up and down in California to get to Bay Area to Southern California, and I will only have to charge twice instead of like 3 times. I think the Model Y had charged 4 times, which was too much. And then with the Model S, of course you get to charge less. Also, it's a lot bigger, right? I've had friends sit in my Model 3 and then they just felt so cramped and tight. And then my Model S, people sit in there, like all my friends. I don't have a family or anything, which is kind of like another thing too. Maybe if you have a family, you have to put a car seat there. But I believe the car seat should fit, and you should be able to fit 2 car seats pretty nicely. But I don't have any kids or a family. I just kind of drive like some friends and then family members. So it's little easier for me to drive this car without people feeling cramped or having to be in the car for long periods of time. So seating and space and storage is pretty good. If you guys like ever get this car, just know that it has been probably the most fun car for me to drive, because it's still extremely fast, 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds. I don't think you need the LS Plaid with 1.9 seconds. That's just too fast and people are gonna get headaches. I've rented the Plaid out and it's just too quick. That's the kind of the reason I chose not to get the Plaid, because it was just too fast and I'd get massive headaches from just driving it way too quickly. So that's one thing about the Model S long range. Overall, I'll give it like a 9 out of 10 just because of how fun it's been to drive, the look of it. The service has been kind of annoying with the car, right? I've had a lot of things break, like the suspension, the door handles, and then I think the center console broke too, so I had to like replace that. It wasn't closing. But other than that, like Tesla service was always pretty great. They always give me like a Model S replacement. Usually that's what I realized. If you bring a Model S and then you're really cool with them, they'll give you like the Model S to be your loaner car. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, Jello family, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Take a look at my other channel, Angelo Talks, which is my business and finance channel, where I talk about business, finance, and tech. And then this channel is focused on Tesla. We're growing so fast. I appreciate you guys liking all my videos, and I hope you have an amazing day, Jello family. And check me out on Instagram. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and check out the Angelo Talks and all my affiliate products down below. I do get a commission from that, so that's just, I'll use all the revenue from that to just generate and help the channel out with more views and just building more content for you guys. Jello family, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you guys each and every day for supporting me. You mean the world to me, and I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much, Jello fam. Have an amazing day. Peace. All right, guys, so we have a used Model S here, aka my Model S, that I actually wrapped in this crimson red color. Always been a fan of the Model S, so I decided to buy one used. So here it is in all its glory. Right now we have the arachnid wheels, I believe it's like 21-inch rims, and you get a 380-mile range with these arachnid rims. I painted the red calipers because this is a long range. The long range doesn't have red brake calipers, so I painted it red. As we walk around the car, you kind of see that it's actually held up pretty well. These are one of the older Model S's. This has actually been refreshed, but it does still have the old charge port before Tesla kind of switched it to the same one as the Model 3, which go upward. But it does have the old charge port. And if you look at the car, the exterior of it has not changed one bit since they had the Model S refreshed. The only big changes actually are the black trim across here. So nothing's chromed out. We have black door handles, new arachnid wheels over here in the front with the brake calipers, same brake calipers. And then the front is all the same. Like, nothing big changed about the car itself. It's all the same car, which is kind of good and bad because the style of it, the car of it looked really nice. But unfortunately, most cars you'd want a refresh. However, there is no refresh, right? It's just mostly the big change was kind of within the interior of the car. The range went up a bit as well.